Today we're going to do the first part of section 2, which is learning to find the axis of symmetry and the vertex of parabolas. So yesterday, everything that we did had an axis of symmetry that was essentially, or not essentially, it was the y-axis, right? All of our parabolas went down and had some sort of, their vertex was on the y-axis. But parabolas can exist anywhere in the coordinate plane. And so today we're going to figure out how to find the axis of symmetry and the vertex of any parabola. Okay, so for example, like you could have a parabola that looked like this, right? And this is the vertex, and that's not on the y-axis, right? So if we know the vertex, then we can start picking points to the left and the right to graph it. But we have to know where the vertex is, and then the axis of symmetry, like this. So yesterday, again, the axis of symmetry was always the y-axis. Today, it's going to be an arbitrary x value. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, it says find the vertex of y equals negative 2x squared plus 12x minus 7. So when we talked about these, we talked about how they were y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So the coefficients a and b are what we're going to use to find the x value of the y coordinate, or of the, of the axis of symmetry. So in this one right here, a would be negative 2 because it's the x squared coefficient, and b is 12 because that's the coefficient with x. So ax squared negative 2x squared plus bx, which is 12, plus c. We're not concerned with what c is. So the formula, okay, you have to memorize this. X equals negative b over 2a. That's how we can find the x value of the vertex of any quadratic. So remember we've talked about this, that if it's negative, it could be negative b over 2a, or it could be b over negative 2a. It doesn't matter where the negative is. I always put the negative up top. It's just how I was taught. It's what I always do. So if b is 12, it would be negative 12 over 2 times a. And a is negative 2. So 2 times negative 2. So that's negative 12 over negative 4, which is 3. So we just found out that x equals 3. Okay, so now we need to know, well, that's the x coordinate. That's telling us, okay, well, it's going to be over here somewhere on x is 3, but is it going to be 3, 5? Is it going to be 3, 0, 3, negative 3? So we need to figure out the y. And the way to do that is to plug it into the quadratic, because it's telling you y equals. So we're going to plug it in. So it's negative 2 times x squared plus 12 times x minus 7. So all I did was up here where there was an x, I put the x value that I figured out. So 3 squared is 9, negative 2 times 9 is negative 18, 12 times 3 is 36, minus 7. So negative 18 plus 36 is positive 18, minus 7 is negative 11. So we just found out that the x coordinate is 3, right? We found that out. Let me do it like this. That the x coordinate was 3, and then when I plugged it in, I got a y value of negative 11. So if we were going to graph this parabola, okay, I would come over here to 3, negative 11, and that's where the vertex would be. So the axis of symmetry, I should have written this in a different order, okay, would be x equals 3, right? So it would be over here 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then way down here at negative 11, and then our parabola would look like that. So on number 2, it says find the axis of symmetry and the vertex of y equals 3x squared minus 6x plus 2. So the first thing I need to do is I need to figure out, well, what is x? Well, remember, it's negative b over 2a. So if b is already negative 6, what's negative negative 6? positive 6, over 2 times a. So a is 3, so 2 times 3, so 6 over 6 is 1. So the axis of symmetry is x equals 1. So this was a, this was b, and this was c. So negative b, the opposite of negative 6 was 6 over 2 times a, and a is 3. 2 times 3 is 6, so I got an x value of 1. I don't know why I wrote vertex, but that's okay. So now that we know that x is 1, I'm going to plug it in to this quadratic right here because it tells me y equals. So y equals 3 times 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus 2. 1 squared is 1. 3 times 1 is 3 minus 6 plus 2. 3 minus 6 is negative 3. My dog is whining like crazy. And then negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. So the vertex would be 1, negative 1. So now for homework, okay, I'm just calling it independent assessment because this, I'm going to make sure that you fill that in as well. You're going to start here on number 1. Okay, you're going to fill these out. And then on the back, you're going to find the axis of symmetry and the vertex for the next 9 of them.